new sessions on management fundamentals. In this session, we are going to focus on Mintzberg 10 managerial roles as per the explanation given by Mintzberg. Now, who is a manager? A manager is someone who manages all the resources which are there in an organization. Therefore, the role of a manager becomes quite crucial in organization for their sustainability and growth. In According to the role which is being given by Mintzberg, Professor Henry Mintzberg piloted a thorough experimental research about managers' regular activities through a large variety of organization and position. Now, see, in an organization, the manager is the linking pin between the top and the bottom level. So there will be different thinkers who will be presenting their idea. Now, according to Mintzberg, a manager basically is having three roles in an organization, that is interpersonal, informal role and decisional role. So in Mintzberg in 1973 recommended managers to play a selection of 10 important roles which will be divided into three main parts: category based, on situation based and on decisional based. So this will be basically explained in the further slide. Now, according to Mintzberg, managerial theory is founded on the idea that managers are involved in 10 roles divided into three categories or clusters, which are interpersonal, informational, and decisional. Now, when we come to define these 10 roles, which are inspired by personal and situational consideration, that means according to the people and according to the situation, the role of manager is going to be quite crucial in an organization. So, when we take the interpersonal cluster or the interpersonal roles, the manager plays the role of a figurehead, where a manager plays officially the role of professional representing his organization in social activities and events, means the person whom you look up to, figurehead. The second role that a manager performs is of a leader. The role is related to people's participation and inspiration. As a leader, a manager must coach, guide, support, and time to time counsel their subordinates to ensure that things are being done, and that is the role of a good leader as well. And the last role, according to the interpersonal cluster, is basically of listening and to build contacts to all stakeholders, because you are responsible, you are accountable to each and every stakeholder who is there associated with the business, and therefore the manager should oversee networking even beyond their organizational boundaries, because this particular listening or networking is going to help the organization in the long run. As per the picture, which is very clearly depicting the role of a manager, we have discussed figurehead, listening, and the leader as an interpersonal quality, or the cluster which is related with interpersonal, that means dealing with people. The second one is informational. Now, when we come to the second part, that is information, it is deriving from the word information itself. So, figurehead role, where the manager plays officially the role of a professional representing his organizational in basically the activities or social events. Interpersonal, informational, and decisional roles are three roles which are interconnected. Now, when it comes to the informational cluster, which includes every critical role, based on these three roles, the manager is supposed to communicate. Information is basically of dissemination. If you're not informing people in advance, if you're not monitoring or telling people while they are working or while they are going to work, the things which are supposed to be done, nothing can be possible. So, and so communication is basically the helm of each and every activity, which makes it possible, which makes it workable, and which makes it successful. So the manager is supposed to communicate, monitor, manage, and distribute the information at every level of the organization. Therefore, the detailed role of this cluster are as follows. Number one is monitoring. Manager should ask information inside and outside of the workplace. This will help him to evaluate the department and the sources which are there within external as well as internal sources, and address to the problem which may occur or which have occurred in the recent past. Disseminator. Manager must delegate more when it is appropriate and convey information which is very important and crucial for the employees to attain or basically achieve their objectives. As a spokesperson, as a manager, one ought to transit informational outside the workplace, taking the role of a brand ambassador of the organization. The next is, and the last part is basically a decisional role. As a part of the organization, when a manager plans, he also takes decision. So decision making plays a very important role. In the decision making process, he acts as an entrepreneur. Behaving like an entrepreneur, managers should encourage change and creativity by leading and implementing new ideas. He is also a disturbance handler. He is responsible for avoiding any disruptions that can prevent achieving the needed outcome. As a resource allocator, manager needs to assign and administer a variety of financial, technological, and human resource activity which will help him as a resource holder or allocator for the organization. And the last one is negotiator. Surely, a manager is basically a person who negotiates with his department, with people, with the people outside the organization. So his role as a negotiator is also one of the important role which comes under the decisional part of the uh, 10 important roles as given by Professor Mintzberg. So this concludes the lecture, which basically emphasizes on the role of a manager in an organization according to Mintzberg. Thank you.